This may sound odd coming from the mouth of a realtor, but you don't need a real estate agent to sell your home. This video is for homeowners that want to forego hiring a listing agent in order to save costs on marketing their property. The trade-off here is that it will likely cost you more time and cause more headache. Additionally, by the end of the selling process, you may realize that you didn't put as much money in your pockets as you had expected, because on average, homes sold by an agent sell for a higher price. But if you decide this is the route for you, I commend you, and I would still like to be of assistance to you through education. In this video, I will give you some knowledge to better prepare yourself on this multi-layered task of selling your house. If this is your first time on the channel, go ahead and subscribe, because I will be releasing more videos on real estate education, local market trends, and I'll be showcasing some beautiful properties here in our area. Also, if by the end of the video you realize that selling your house on your own is not for you, please reach out to me for help. I'm only a phone call away, and we can discuss if hiring me would be a good fit to help you accomplish your real estate needs. First up, if you're looking to sell your home without a realtor, you're probably concerned about money. And I can't blame you. Money is some really good stuff. You will want to price your house accordingly so you can get the most out of it, and in a timely fashion. Zillow.com may be a decent first resource. They provide an automated zestimate of what a home might be worth if it went to market. Just search an address on their platform and see what results it yields. It is an estimate, however, so be careful to rely on this information alone. Another method could be to dig through public records to figure out what homes in your neighborhood have sold for recently. You can do this on county tax sites, or websites such as Zillow can help you with this also. You can see how much homes have sold for, then adjust the price of your house either higher or lower, depending on features that it has or doesn't. When determining the price for your home, it is essential to know what's going on in the housing market. Is it a buyer's market? A seller's? Neutral? A seller's market, for example, will allow you to price your home on the higher end of a range, and you might be able to reach a closing date quicker. In a buyer's market, be prepared for extra time on the market and potentially at a lower price than you had expected. When calculating your desired price, be careful not to price too high, as this may lead to more time sitting on the market. During this time, you will still have to pay utilities, taxes, other fees, and your listing will become more stagnant and people will lose interest. It is best to get it sold relatively quickly. The next step that I would do after determining a price would be preparing the home for market and showings. It is crucial to understand the 3 Ds of home prep: declutter, depersonalize, and decorate. Following this process will help any prospecting buyers envision themselves in the home. This process may be complicated for some if you have accumulated many items over the years, but you may as well get started since you're going to have to pack up and move anyways. Consider what you actually want to take with you after the sale of your home, and start packing and placing these items in totes. Include family photos, art pieces, and decor that may really only appeal to you. You can set the full totes in storage rooms such as attics, basements, garages, or outbuildings. The goal here is to ensure that the house has clear walking paths and that features can easily be seen. When preparing a home, you may wonder if repairs or improvements should be made. It depends on what kind of market we're in. Certain repairs may be neglected and left for the buyers to take care of if we're in a seller's market. On the other hand, if we're on a strong buyer's market, repairs and upgrades may be necessary for your home to stand out amongst competition. However, it's likely that you won't get the full money back that you spent in order to make these repairs and upgrades. At minimum, I always recommend that things look fresh, feels clean, and leaves an excellent first impression. We are almost to the point of letting people know that our house is for sale. However, I want you to be prepared to talk about disclosures before we get to that point, as it will help keep you out of a legal dilemma. A property disclosure communicates to any potential buyer about any latent defects within the property. And a latent defect is one that might not be apparent or visually recognized, but still significantly impacts the value of a property. While it is not West Virginia law for the seller to fill out a property disclosure form, It is required that the seller make known to any potential buyers of defects. You would really want to do this anyway to maintain a good reputation within your community. Besides latent defects, there are many other occurrences where disclosures may be needed. If a home is built before 1978, federal law mandates that a seller fill out a lead-based paint disclosure. It is also essential to disclose any environmental hazards and if a property would be classified as a stigmatized property, such as being haunted or if a murder had taken place there. No one wants to end up in a legal case. Before marketing the property, get some photographs of your home, as you will want to post these all over the internet on different websites. I'd recommend hiring a professional photographer, as they will yield high quality results, and photos are typically the first impression that someone will have of your home. There are several professional photographers here in the Huntington area. It is possible, however, that the photos of your property be taken on your own. The camera quality on our own smartphones these days is quite impressive. I'll go ahead and give you some quick photography tips if you decide on this course of action. To increase the quality of your photos, concentrate on composition, lighting, and space. For lighting, go ahead and open up all windows to allow the natural light to fill up the rooms. When it comes to light fixtures, either turn them all off or turn them all on. Stay consistent. For composition, keep your smartphone or camera about midway between the ceiling and the floor and include a corner of the room. Make sure that your camera is level so it's not looking down into the floor or up at the ceiling. And the final quick photography tip is to use the wide-angle lens if your phone supports it. This will capture most of the room and make it look large and spacious. At this point, I would feel comfortable letting people know that my house is for sale. Tell your friends, your family, and your co-workers that it's available for purchase. You may as well let your enemies know also, because at the end of the day, who cares who buys it if they're handing over the money? Besides word of mouth, place a sign in the yard to let any neighbors or passerbys know as well. Now that we have some nice images from the previous step, it's time to utilize them. Upload all of the images you have alongside a nice description of your property to major social networking websites such as Instagram and/or Facebook. While on Facebook, you can even share them with local groups that have people interested in buying and selling. Other sites, such as Craigslist and Reddit, may also come in handy to get the word out. We had spoken about Zillow.com earlier in the video, and they may play a role here as well. Zillow will actually let you list your home on their platform for free, but there's a caveat. They don't display your home on the map alongside the other homes that are for sale listed by an agent. There's a semi-hidden list that a buyer would have to click on in order to see homes that are for sale by the owner. In addition, buyers are encouraged to contact an agent when viewing your property on the Zillow portal. So if you are trying to avoid speaking with real estate agents, they're going to be contacting you regardless. A couple other ways you can help build interest in people wanting to see your property is to throw an open house. Schedule it for a pretty day when a lot of people are off work. Then, of course, there's always the opportunity to run ads, either in a local newspaper or online platforms such as Facebook and Google. Hopefully, after all of your efforts in showcasing your property, your phone is ringing off the hook. Can we still use that expression anymore? We don't place phones on hooks these days. Anyways, buyers are going to have extra questions about your property and they'll be wanting to see it. Depending on the market, you're going to want to respond to these inquiries quickly and set up showing times. Leaving someone unanswered may cause them to forget about your property and they'll just move on to the next one. During a showing, consider leaving the house for a little bit so that the buyers don't feel rushed or judged. If they are with a realtor, then they will walk alongside them to ensure that nothing terrible happens to your property. If you are unable to leave, try to minimize hovering and/or extra comments that may make them feel awkward. Once you have had some showings, follow up with the buyers within a couple days. Check in to see if they're interested in purchasing or negotiating. They may need some nudges in your direction as people are easily distracted. When it comes to getting an offer, it will probably be sent over to you electronically via email. It will be a contract to purchase the property, outlining the purchase price, the payment method, when they would like to close on the property, and any contingencies that the buyer is wanting to hold on to. Contingencies are conditions of a contract that allow the buyer to back out without any repercussions. Some examples of said contingencies are for the inspection and the appraisal. It is very common for a buyer to ask that a home inspection be completed within a couple weeks after an accepted offer. This allows them the opportunity to get a report on the condition of your home, and if it comes back unsatisfactory, they can end the deal. Typically, these reports have some kind of negative aspect, so don't be too surprised. This is also when a buyer may start to negotiate a lower price due to unforeseen flaws in the house. If the buyer is getting a loan, then the lender will order an appraisal to be done on the house before the deal is finalized. This is to protect the lender or bank in the case that the borrower defaults on their loan. The lender will want to make sure that they can sell the property to recoup the money that they loaned out. Once all the terms of the sale are negotiated and the contingencies are removed from the contract, the deal will move towards the closing table. The title company is responsible for all the legal paperwork that must be completed to ensure the transfer of real property to one owner to the next. They also ensure that the seller has the right to sell the property. If you are there at the office, then this should have already been checked on. As the seller, you will have a handful of documents to sign, and the buyer will have like 5 times as many. Here is the time and place where you hand over the keys and the transaction is completed. If you decide to sell your house without the help of a real estate agent, I hope this video gives you some knowledge on the process and the actions that must be completed. I'm confident that I could do a deep dive on the topics throughout this video, but it would sure make it a lengthy one. I plan to create separate videos in the future to give more insight on the topics that we covered here today. If you have any specific questions regarding the process, feel free to leave them in the comments. I will answer them individually or create a video response to address them. If you decide that you don't feel like tackling the home selling process alone, I understand that too. So in that case, feel free to contact me directly to determine if I'm the right agent to sell your property. If you got any value from this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.